Boys and girls, let us use multiplication to represent the heads of cabbage planted by both ladies. Mrs. Johnson planted 5 rows of cabbage with 3 heads of cabbage in each row. Mrs. Campbell planted 3 rows of cabbage with 5 heads of cabbage in each row. Both ladies planted the same number of heads of cabbage. Can you write a multiplication sentence to represent the heads of cabbage by Mrs. Johnson? How about a multiplication sentence to represent the heads of cabbage by Mrs. Campbell? Go ahead and write the sentences. Check your answers with me. If you wrote 5 multiplied by 3 is equal to 15 for Mrs. Johnson, and 3 multiplied by 5 is equal to 15 for Mrs. Campbell, you are correct. Let us look carefully at the 2 multiplication sentences. What have you noticed? If you said both sentences have the same factors and products, but the factors are in different order, you are doing great so far. Mrs. Johnson and Mrs. Campbell later collected eggs from their chicken coop. Mrs. Johnson placed her eggs in 2 rows of 5 eggs each, while Mrs. Campbell placed her eggs in 5 rows of 2 eggs each. Go ahead and write the multiplication sentences to represent the eggs collected by both ladies. Check your answers with me. Let us check your answers. If you wrote 2 multiplied by 5 is equal to 10 for Mrs. Johnson, and 5 multiplied by 2 is equal to 10 for Mrs. Campbell, you are doing great. Let us compare the multiplication sentences for the cabbage and the multiplication sentences for the eggs. What have you noticed? You should have noticed that in both cases, each pair of multiplication sentences had the same factors and products. However, the factors were in different order. This property of multiplication is known as the commutative property. Commutative comes from the word commute, which means to move around or travel. The commutative property of multiplication tells us that changing the order of the factors we are multiplying does not change the products. Let us look at another example. Mrs. Johnson and Mrs. Campbell also planted peppers as shown. Go ahead. Write the multiplication sentences to represent the peppers planted by both ladies. Let us check your answers. Did you write 2 multiplied by 8 is equal to 16 and 4 multiplied by 4 is equal to 16? If you did just that, clap yourself. Let us look at the pair of multiplication sentences. I need you to tell me what you have noticed. Great! I heard someone saying that the products are the same, but the factors are different. Do you think that the commutative property applies to this pair of multiplication sentences? No is indeed correct. Can you say why? Great! Though the products are the same, the factors in each sentence are different, and as such, does not conform to the commutative property of multiplication. Can you give one way the ladies could have planted the 16 pepper trees in their garden so that the factors would be the same? If you said 2 rows with 8 peppers in each row and 8 rows with 2 peppers in each row, you are absolutely correct. Awesome, boys and girls. You have been doing great so far. Mrs. Johnson and Mrs. Campbell need your help. They each have 20 grains of corn to be planted in their gardens. They will plant 1 corn per hole. Can you help them to create pairs of multiplication sentences that apply the commutative property of multiplication in planting the grains of corn? I am sure you will. Go ahead and write them. You have 50 seconds to do so. Let us check those answers. If you wrote A, 1 row with 20 corn, 1 multiplied by 20 is equal to 20, and 20 rows with 1 corn, 20 multiplied by 1 is equal to 20, clap yourself. Also, if you wrote 2 rows with 10 corns in each row, 2 multiplied by 10 is equal to 20, and 10 rows with 2 corns in each row, 10 multiplied by 2 is equal to 20. Boys and girls, you are doing great. Is there another pair you could have written? I heard someone shouting it out. We could have also written 5 rows with 4 corns in each row. 5 multiplied by 4 is equal to 20. And 4 rows with 5 corns in each row. 4 multiplied by 5 is equal to 20. Boys and girls, you have done a great job helping out on the farm while learning about the commutative property of multiplication. We have come to the end of another lesson. But as we always do before we go, let us recap. The commutative property of multiplication tells us that changing the order of the factors we are multiplying does not change the product. Until next time, keep practicing and remember, there is math in everything you do.